All right, and I have returned with food. Food. Yeah, I made a phone call. Said I probably wouldn't be here for dinner. That way that they can make plans that don't involve me. And yeah, so what are we doing now? Let's take a look here. So we're gonna need this, obviously. We have Kamun and we have Sauty. So Kamun, we need a small mud brick pyramid. Egypt reclaimed. And Sauty, we need 3 mud brick pyramids. Great. I mean, they're only medium, so they're not that bad. But let's see. This is a peaceful mission. And this is a dangerous mission. Ooh. All right. So we're gonna go with heads is going to be Kamun, and tails is going to be Sauty. Tails it is. Oh boy. At least the game's giving me a little bit of a break from military missions. That's kind of nice, I will admit. Let's go.
O King of the Two Lands,
That's us.
Egypt cries out for your help. The menacing Hyksos have invaded our land and have set up their own capital at Roarty. From Roarty, they have disrupted many of our trade routes. We must stop their conquest before it is too late. Here at Sauty, we are safe from immediate attack, although the Hyksos have the gall to demand tribute. We may need to supply troops and arms to our compatriots in the north to help repel the Hyksos incursion. They will look to you, Almighty Pharaoh, for support. But now, we too have a new weapon. Our wise military leaders have become proficient in the use of the dreaded chariot, and we shall turn it back upon our enemies and drive them before us. If only our trouble was limited to the north. Reports from our southern borders show that the Nubians are once again taking advantage of a distracted Egypt. They have reclaimed the southern cities of Icon and He. If Egypt is to emerge intact from these turbulent times, much will be required of your generals in the field and on the river. To inspire your 2 best generals, you have promised to build each of them a pyramid.
Hey. I did not promise any such thing, game.
Promise in their hearts, they are fiercely combating the foe, calling upon all their strength and sinew. If it pleases you, mighty Pharaoh, you should build 3 magnificent pyramids at Sauty, one for yourself and one for each of your generals. These 3 pyramids
I think that my pyramid needs to be at least 33% bigger than theirs. That's just my opinion.
You may
33%.
also need to extend your city across the Nile to avail yourself of all the resources needed for this city to flourish.
Okay. Let's pause the game. What are we dealing with here? So we have another normal climate city. That's pretty nice. We have a whole bunch of meadows down here. That's pretty neat. Can we build limestone? We can build limestone and plainstone. Although these are mud brick pyramids, so they need brickworks. We can produce... We cannot produce straw. I always look at the flax farm and I think that it's grain. That's my problem. Okay, so the game said that we need to straddle the river I mean, other than the extra space for the 3 pyramids that I need, I don't really see it. Not just yet. Anything that's over here is also over here. It's just gonna be a timing thing. This is the most obvious place to start a city. Although, actually, I might start it over here so I can get immediate access to the meadows. I think that would make a lot more sense. How many gods do we have? 3. What can we produce? We can produce gemstones. Okay, I think I'm starting to see why we need to go across the river. It's to get easier access to stone. I'm guessing the stone up here is a little bit more easily accessible. Not really a lot. So I'm guessing that jewelry is going to be our main export. Yeah. Almost certainly. Okay. Menat Khufu buys limestone and bricks, but we're going to need those for the building project. Also, why are our icons weird nowadays? I don't know. Let's not worry about it. It's totally a perfectly balanced game with no problems. No bugs. Alright, well, we don't have anything as convenient as friggin' game meat this time, so we're just going to have to deal with what we got. Let's go ahead and have kind of like a right-angled town here. Right along this line. Oh, Tetrahedron, you beat the open front dev in a 1v1? That's pretty neat. I was involved in the one dev game the other day where he was testing new features, and he and I got into a big war. And we both ended up losing. So what my game plan is, I'm going to farm these meadows, and then I'm going to start working on gemstones and jewelry immediately. Which means we are going to need a dock. There we go. And then let's also water lift. Sure. This is going to cause some desirability issues. We'll deal with that problem later. Right now, I'm mostly just focused on getting food. Shocker, food is very important. Who would have thought? Yeah, we'll do something like that. There we go. Okay, and we'll also put a granary down here. That might be a little bit close, but it's fine. Again, we'll deal with that later. Okay, so Osiris is our patron god. Okay. That's fine. There we go. Nice. Alright, as we let the people trickle in, I'm going to nibble at my food a little bit. Okay. So fertility is doing okay here. I'm not really expecting it to be great because it's not on a floodplain. Which we could do a little bit of floodplaining farming in here. It won't be that difficult. But for now, we're going to immediately jump down here and start working on... We may want to wait a minute. We may want to wait a minute, at least until we get our first, like, shipment of food in. What's going on here? Oh, I see what the problem is. There we go. Functional. Functional. Alright, I have very quickly downed my food. So now I can focus on my city. Yeah. So we got the first little bit of food in. We'll get a little bit more in next year. Well, I guess in a few months, yeah? November? Okay. But I want to make sure we get enough population in here before I start going nuts on gem mining. But it looks like we're at 4% unemployment, so we should be okay now. Even though... Huh. Apparently the stone isn't real. Apparently it's fake news. Okay. That's fine. This is only going to accept jewelry. We'll have 4 jewelers. There we go. That should get workers? Yeah, that should get workers pretty easily, I think. Just got to get that slow build-up of food going, and then we can worry about other things. Alright. This looks super jank. What's for dinner? Oh, I already ate, Tana. I had just a couple of slices of leftover pizza that were in the fridge. That's all. Just enough to sustain myself for one more mission. Heh has fallen to the enemy. That's okay. I am going to have to focus on trying to actually get a military and resources. Maybe make some chariots. Maybe make a couple chariots. But for now, we're going to export jewelry. Mendifair and Bubastis. There we go. And we're just going to export all the jewelry because we don't really need a lot of jewelry. We may not even need any jewelry. That might be a slightly hot take. I don't want to commit to that opinion just yet. We're still struggling to get workers to this other gemstone mine, though. Maybe as our population fills up, that'll be less of a problem. We'll see. But we have a nice little village going. Just need to make sure we get enough food for everyone. The game thinks we have enough food for 3,200 people. I mean, I don't really care that much if the Bazaar buys some jewelry, but I guess it'll help, at least right now, to make sure that my exports actually pad my economy, which is what I want right now anyway, so that's a fair point. Okay, we may need to build a slum house. I don't really want to, but I don't know why this building isn't getting people, especially when all the other ones... Okay, yeah, okay. All right. I guess I won't get a slum house there. To the right and delete the crossroad. Yeah, that's a fair point. So originally I had it like that because I was going to go down here and build gemstones as well. Unfortunately, these rocks aren't real, so I can't put gemstones there. That'll work just fine. And it looks like I'm probably... I mean, I guess I could put gemstones over here, too. I'm probably going to want to use a lot of this exposed stone for limestone. Also, my city is literally dying to disease while I discuss this. Let's build a physician. There we go. I guess something that's kind of nice with the way this is set up is that I can build a clay pit right here. I can build 2 clay pits right here. And just already have a jump start on my pottery. Can we export pottery? No. Okay. So, probably don't need to go nuts on pottery just yet. We're only gonna have 1. That's all we're gonna do with that. I'm actually going to go down even farther and say I only want a 1/4 storage yard of pottery here. We're gonna want more pottery eventually, but right now that's fine. If I can't sell it, there's no real reason to have a whole bunch of it. Okay, now we just have to get enough food for everyone. Which you would think would be pretty straightforward, but apparently it's not as straightforward as you would think. We're gonna sacrifice this farm. Crap. Let's adjust this slightly. There we go. I think this will be better in the long term. I could be wrong about that, but that's what we're going with. Because actually what we could do now is we could put a farm here and here. And we can bring the irrigation ditch around like this. I think that'll work okay. It's a start, anyhow. Okay, we have that going. That's good.
I can only juggle so much. There's no place I see job vacancies everywhere.
I have to go clear across the
Yeah,
city with
you
these
sell that.
goods.
Good job. You did a good
It'll
job.
take all day.
The game has told me that I'm going to want to build a military. I may go focus on chariots. Chariots are extremely broken, or at least they were. I don't know if they still are in this or not. They probably are. Although I am going to mention something kind of weird. There's a little bit of a continuity issue here, and I don't know if it was in the original game or not. Let me look at the objectives here. So, something that this game mentioned,
Oh, King of the
and they
Two
mentioned it
Lands,
twice. They mentioned it at the
Egypt cries out for
end,
your
at
help.
the beginning of the last
The
mission
menacing
too.
Hyksos have invaded our land and have set
But,
up their own capital at Roarty. From
chariots.
Roarty, they have disrupted many of our trade routes.
So we've become
We must
proficient
stop
in the
their
use of the
conquest
dreaded
before it is
chariots.
too late. Here at Sauty, we are
And
safe from immediate
we've
attack.
been attacked
Although
by
the
this
Hyksos
new
have the gall
technology
to demand tribute.
that's chariots.
We may
So, during the Egyptian Civil War, in this game, in the remake, we got attacked by chariots. So why did the ancient Egyptians that we were fighting in a civil war like 400 years ago, at this point, have chariots? It's an interesting thought, isn't it? It's an interesting thought. It's just a silly little thing. It doesn't matter, but it's amusing to me. Alright, so we have pottery. We'll be able to upgrade those cottages. We need more people. Which, now that these are upgraded, we could do that. We could come over here, and we could do, like, a line of housing here. It's gonna be a little bit jank. But that's okay. That's how I like to build my cities, is a little bit jank. I've stressed many times that I don't want to build the perfect city. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to build a nice city. Full of crocodiles, apparently. Crocodiles sure love my city, that's for sure. Alright. We'll get a water supply. We'll get a... where is it? Bazaar? We'll get our firehouse, our architect's post, a physician, and our temples. Oh. Now we wait to sell a whole bunch of jewelry so that we don't go into debt. We haven't gone into debt yet, but we probably will. It all depends on whether this guy goes back before another month ticks over, or we buy something. Which we shouldn't buy anything. Either way, it's fine. That housing should solve our unemployment problem. And we could probably start working on this floodplain. Too little entertainment. Right, it wants a bandstand. You know what? We're gonna go into debt at some point anyway. We might as well go into debt now, right? I'm sure someone's done a no debt challenge. It's not gonna be me. I'm not good enough at the game for that. Wait. Do I not get a relief fund? Huh. Okay. Well, I guess I don't get a relief fund anymore. Or at least in this mission. It's hard to say whether it's a permanent issue or just a thing with this one. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. I mean, I'm not gonna knock it. Not too much, anyhow. Just a little bit odd. A little bit odd. I don't know. Crocodile. You won't see any tears rolling down the armor of this thick armored skin. Sure won't. I was thinking maybe I missed out on something, but no. When I hovered my mouse over it before I went into debt, it said, make sure you don't go into debt or something like that. And usually what it'll say is you've already used your relief fund, if you've already used that relief fund. So, I don't know. Did my viziers tell me anything?
O King of the Two Lands, Egypt cries out for your
just
help.
that they expect big fancy cities. So you have to start to draw on your own? No, it hasn't said anything like that.
O King of the Two Lands, Egypt cries out for your help. The menacing Hyksos have invaded our land and...
It's not a big deal. Honestly, the relief fund is a bit of a crutch anyway. Probably not one I should be relying on. It's just kind of weird. It's just kind of weird. You always try to not get it? I started this playthrough with a desire to not get it, but I'm pretty sure I've gotten it in nearly every single mission, and I just kind of gave up on that. I gave up on that goal. There are times where I feel like it shouldn't be there. I feel like if you're going to have, like, financial limits, then it should just already be there. Like, keep the debt, go to negative 5,000, worst case scenario. Either that, or it needs to provide much more of a penalty to your kingdom rating. People should be mad that they have to give you money to kind of prop your city. Some kind of penalty, some kind of punishment for going, like, into your debt and having to beg for money. I don't know. I mean, it's a fair point to keep in mind that this game is quite old, and usually when you get into very old games, you get, like, two kinds of old games. You get, like, the casual games where it's pretty easy, and you get the not casual games, which are ridiculously hard. You do have interest on the debt, but that's not usually a problem unless you get really deep into debt. I'm at 25% unemployment. I may have to go all in on jewelry for a while. Because, I mean, here's the thing. Like, at the end of the day, I'm streaming live. I need to get on with it. I can't just sit here and watch money slowly trickle in. If I was playing this game on my own, I would probably be more inclined to just, like, fast forward the game until I recovered economically, even if it took, like, 5 or 6 years. But I'm impatient, so we're gonna do this. And we're also going to put a slum house there. So yeah, I'm 2,000 gold into debt. That's okay. Because I'm now going to be making way more jewelry, which I can then sell off for way more money. Is it safe? No, because if I get attacked, or if there's a crisis that I need to deal with, I have less wiggle room. And if my debt lasts until the end of the year, it's gonna hurt my kingdom rating. But sometimes you gotta take those risks. Just like sometimes you gotta take the risk that the crocodile is going to eat your priest. You know, it's just, it happens sometimes. So one thing that we can absolutely do is we can start farming flax. That's super cheap. It's not going to require too many extra people, and that lets us sell linen. Can we sell linen? I should check. Yes, but we have to open up a route for it. Which route is it? Is it... Oh no. One must open up later. We can't sell linen yet. Okay. Well, here's the next question. We can buy barley to make beer and then sell the beer. So that's something we may want to look into. We may also just want to collect a bunch of linen because we may need it for requests. These are the things we keep in mind. These are the things that might cause problems. I really need to get the desirability of these houses up a little bit. But I don't want to invest. I can't afford to invest. We're just gonna focus on making some jewelry. Yeah. We could give ourselves money. We could give ourselves money. No, we can't. I lied. We're broke. Never mind. It's fine. I was pretty sure we had a whole bunch of money at the end of the last mission, but whatever. Maybe we lost it. Maybe it went into funding this city. Who knows? Or maybe the game's breaking. The game may be breaking around me, and I would never know. I'm not even really worried about upgrading my housing at the moment. I mean, most of this area over here just needs desirability. Which we will get. We will get at some point. We just need to sell a whole bunch of jewelry. So for chariots, we need copper and wood. How much does a chariot sell for? 315. That doesn't really seem worth it. It's not worth it, actually. So that's something to keep in mind in missions where we may be able to export chariots. Unless we can get one, or preferably both resources, it's not worth manufacturing them except for war. Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, it probably is. Which, I don't know, 2 to 3 just feels weird to me. I used to always think that it was 1 to 2, but I think that was like ingrained into me when I played Caesar 3 for the first time. Because I think most of the resources in Caesar 3 are 1 to 2. So I always tend to build like the 1 to 2 ratio. 1 raw materials, 2 not raw materials. But we'll see. We'll see if we spread the love here. We are accumulating... Oh. What happened? A lot happened. So, Ichui is willing to trade more straw. Iken has fallen to the enemies, and we've been in debt for over a year. Okay. We won't be in debt for much longer, though. But yeah, we are doubling up on some of the jewelers, so we may get caught up eventually. The game itself, when it introduced pottery, says 1 clay pit is good for 2 potters. Actually, in the remake, I don't remember what the original game said, but the remake did say 2 to 3 ratio on the clay pits and pottery. That is something that I noticed, because I remember making a comment about it where I said that I thought it was 1 to 2. So, yeah, either that was changed in the remake, or it's probably changed in the remake, let's be honest. But yeah, the ooh. I'm really surprised I could actually deliver that. Alright. A little bit more, just a little wee bit more, and we'll be good to go. You didn't pay attention to the remake. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, I read a lot of it at the start, especially during the tutorial. I like to do that when I'm starting a new game, even if it's one that I'm familiar with. Alright, are we ready to go into debt again? Nah, it's April. We'll make it back. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So, we cannot sell pottery. So there's no sense in making a whole bunch of potters and clay pits. We can't sell linen yet. Can we sell bricks? I don't really want to sell bricks. I want to use bricks to make pyramids. We can sell bricks. We'd have to import the straw. Ah, that just doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good at all. I don't like that. Yeah, we're gonna keep going with this. We can buy barley and sell beer. Well, we could buy wood and sell composite bows, but we would be breaking even. Yeah, setup isn't always ideal, so I count for at least 2 gatherers for 5 to 10 makers, depending. Yeah, that's true. And sometimes you just gotta play around with things. So I guess we're gonna start importing barley. I'm curious about when this trade route for linen's going to open up, but it's probably not going to be anytime soon. But barley we need for beer to upgrade our houses, and we can sell it. I think I want my storage yard here for that. Yeah, we're gonna do something like that. And then we'll just have, like, 2 breweries here. Oh, I need to open up a trade route. Which one was barley? This one. Okay. Oh, well, that's a land route. Didn't really matter where I opened it up. Oh, that's fine. It's fine. We got it. That's the important part. Yeah, that's also true. I wouldn't even be even because I'd be paying salaries too. Yeah. It'd be a slight loss. Unless I really needed to get that unemployment down for some reason. That would be the only reason to do that. Now, I may end up importing wood to make composite bows, but it's going to be for my own army, not selling. So this is a little bit awkward. This is all floodplain, right? Maybe not. I'm gonna wait for the flood to finish, and then I'll take a better look at it. Because, like, I could make a road over to here, and then sort of boat over, but I would not be able to access it for a few months out of the year. So I have to go over down here, which is extremely inconvenient because I need this place for farms. This is the most logical spot. Okay. I think we're gonna put our pyramids down here. We're gonna put like one there. There may not even be enough space down here for all three of them. We'll figure it out, I'm sure. Because overall, well, I was going to say overall our rating requirements are fairly modest, but they're not. 70 culture, 75 prosperity. Those are all kind of high goals to meet. I've said it once, I'll say it again. We're not in the early game no more. We're not in the old kingdom any longer. We are in the new kingdom. And they're not gonna pull their punches in the new kingdom. Okay, so beer's coming in. That's good. We'll need a courthouse. This just seems like the right spot to put it. I know that, like, I don't think the courthouse will be able to cover both of these wings. In fact, I'd probably be better off building one down here and one over here. But that just feels good to put it in there. I don't know. And yeah, it looks like it's really struggling to get all of these jewelers up and running. So I may get rid of a couple of these jewelers, like maybe that one and that one. We'll keep the others for now. Yeah, 2 mines. Yeah, it's fine. I could put it closer, I guess. That would probably help a little bit, but I don't really think travel time's the problem. It's just the mines don't perfectly encompass the amount of things we have. Yeah. This is why... I know I've said this a few times, but this is why I don't like floodplain farming once we get the meadow farming. Like, there's advantages to floodplain farming. You know, you do get more overall if the floods are good. But, like, you get so much food just from the normal meadows. It's crazy. And that's the same thing with, like, hunting. You get so much food from hunting. It's crazy. Like, this is a civilization known for its floodplain farming. Yeah, it's just so much more efficient to do anything else. Okay, that should be enough for that. We're going to continue this road up here. And we're going to grab all of this stone. Yeah. Put the one on the other side of the road since they have to be taken by docks anyway. Yeah. It's fair. Firefighter not... It's fine. It's fine. I've only done that 100 times already. It's okay. So we could go crazy on jewelry. I don't think we need more jewelry. I think the best thing we can do right now is gather a stockpile of limestone for my finished goods, for my pyramids. I can sell it too, but I don't really want this. I don't really want to sell it. Gonna be honest with you, I don't really want to sell it. But I could sell beer. I'd be okay with that. Just a little bit. Export when you're over like 400. It's usually a pretty easy. Plus it sells for nothing. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's basically worthless. Okay. I mean, it's still better than selling, like, not selling it, I guess. But I don't feel like having to calculate the wages and whether it's actually worth selling. Alright, a new trade route to Kerma has been opened. Is that the one we've been waiting for? I hope it is. Okay, we're gonna need a slum house. We're going to need probably a couple of storage yards. And then, of course, a firehouse and an architect's post to keep everything from falling over. So we're gonna have these limestone quarries over here, and then we're going to probably put some over here and have it get limestone. Yeah, it doesn't seem like this magistrate quite covers the whole way over here. Well, maybe. I mean, these are devolving because they don't have access to a physician, apparently. Which is a little bit weird, but whatever, we can fix that real quick. There's only one mission where you could sell it because of the sheer amount of people buying it in very large quantities. Yeah, but I still don't know if it would really be worth selling. Limestone sells, you get 35 Pharaoh bucks. You know, you're paying people wages. You got the workers, you got the storage yards. I don't think it's worth it at all. Not in the least. That's the point in the mission. You don't remember this is practically your only export. Yeah, that's fair. It's fine. We're fine. Oh, Kerma. Kerma. Where are you, Kerma? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, good sir. I appreciate you. I'm glad you've opened up a land trade route with me. You are my hero. My lord and savior. Okay. These people are mad because they don't have access to musicians. Oh, is this gonna be a problem? This is gonna be a problem, isn't it? Alright, if I put a roadblock there, that'll probably help. Yeah. But also, we can throw a couple work camps down here. And we can start our flax farms. We can start our linen. That's way too much flax. We're going with it. I'm committed. It's fine. I'm gonna fix it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There we go. Ooh. Is this gonna be a problem, Temple to Osiris? It absolutely is. Okay. There we go. Problem solved. Alright, now we have more linen production than we can shake a stick at. Well, we have more flax production than we can shake a stick at. The linen will come later, and by later I mean now. Let's go ahead and grab the weaver. We're going to do Just a whole bunch of movers. And then we can sell it. Because of course. Perfect. Excellent. Big, big money. No Scribble School? That's okay. We can deal with that later. Okay, we could probably start... We need a little bit more population surplus, and then we can start looking at building bricks and starting pyramids. That's what our game plan is. Oh. We don't need to buy meat, so that's okay. We're gonna put a bandstand down here. That'll also solve the entertainment problem in this area. And then we're gonna put more housing. You know, let's live a little. Let's put housing on this side of the road. I hate it. Let's do it. I hate it. Let's go. I'm ready. My body and my heart is ready for this gross mess. Okay. Set. We have Osiris, and Ra. There we go. So this bazaar definitely probably will not be able to supply all of these houses, but we can hope. We can hope and dream. Because surprisingly, this courthouse is actually reaching almost the whole way down to the end here. And I bet if I beautified this up a little bit... We'll give him a bird hat statue. Yeah, alright. Perfect. All it took was a ridiculous statue. What? Oh. I thought this was the end of the floodplain. The end of the floodplain is all the way down here. Okay. That's fine. Here, it's all part of the plan or something. This is gross. There we go. There we go. Perfect. It's like nothing bad happened. Oh, we need a water supply down here. I may still put a water supply down here, even though the water supply can reach the whole way. I want it to be a little bit more consistent. So we're gonna do that. Also, he just got murdered by a crocodile, so maybe it'd be best if we got a new one anyway. Now, I may want to build a storage yard specifically for flax overstock, but we'll see how this works out at first. What is wrong with this? Oh, I see what's wrong with this. It didn't quite go the whole way. There we go. Perfect. So we... Also, we need more granaries. Where are we gonna put more granaries? I mean, I guess we could put one down here. It's not a bad thing to have one over here. Just in general. Because that'll give this bazaar, like, more wiggle room for food. Run, run, run. Hurry up. You're almost out. Oh, that's underwhelming. Okay. Am I too quiet? I did notice that yesterday as well. I moved my microphone out of the way. And, it caused me to be a little bit quiet in yesterday's stream. Does it sound better now? Yes. Okay. So yeah, my microphone is super sensitive, and I've been playing with it away from my screen because when it's right in front of my face, I can't see like this part of my monitor. So I was going to try to keep it moved out of the way, but I think you're right. I think when I listened to yesterday's VOD, I noticed the same thing, that I was super quiet. So we may just have to accept that I can only see part of my screen for now, or most of my screen. I can see most of my screen, but I can't see just a small part of it. So it is what it is. Someday I'll probably have a better setup, maybe. Probably not. I may just keep this jank setup forever. Oh, look at all that linen. Beautiful, beautiful linen. That's money. That's gold right there. That's pure profit. And put some gain filter on my mic? Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm lazy. I'm lazy when I record. I'm lazy when I edit. I'm lazy when I do basically anything. So I have to really be up to like monkeying with stuff to actually want to monkey with things. If all I have to do is move my microphone slightly closer to my face and not worry about it, that's probably what I'm going to do. Alright, so in anticipation of getting all of this money from linen, the gain filter was a life changer? I'm sure. I'm sure. But yeah, in anticipation of getting all of this money from the linen, I'm going to start importing straw so that I can start making bricks. There we go. So for bricks, I'm going to need a whole bunch more clay. Now, I don't really have a great place to mine clay other than over here where I'm mining clay already. So we're probably just going to plop more clay pits over here. You can put one there. You can put one there. Yeah, a little bit of that. It's fine. Can we put a clay pit here? Yes. Okay. Excellent. And then we can make a whole bunch of brick makers. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to put another magistrate over here, and then we're probably also going to have to put one over here at some point as well. There we go. We still have one inactive jeweler. I mean, there's no harm in having an inactive jeweler. It's not like we need the people everywhere else right now. We're good. Okay. So we should start bringing in straw. And then we can build a bunch of brickworks. We're gonna need a lot more brickworks than that. Do we want to go up to... I mean, we can import all of the straw that we need. Straw is dirt cheap. So we can go up to 1,600 straw. And we can just go nuts on the brickworks. That's fine. We may need a couple more clay pits, but we'll go from there. But yeah, the other thing is that, like, when my microphone is slightly farther away from my face, I have a tendency of sitting back in my chair and leaning back and forth. So, like, when my microphone is even farther away from my face, that makes my voice even quieter. Okay, so now all I need is some place to put all of my bricks. I mean, over here is probably fine. I hate creating so many intersections. It goes against everything that Pharaoh has taught me over the years. But I'm also super lazy. So it's fine. This is fine. Yeah, we're good. Oh, that's a crocodile spawner. Okay. Alright, so we have bricks coming in. We have limestone coming in. The only real problem we're going to have, other than the fact that we need about 3 times more people, is finding space for the pyramids, which is why I kind of want to start building them sooner rather than later. Because I'm going to have to build 1 or 2 of them down here, and then I'm probably going to have to build another one up here. And I want to make sure I have the space for the population I need. So I don't have to delete a pyramid. That would be a disaster. We could also start importing papyrus or reeds. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to import papyrus directly. Start our housing upgrades, but I'm not super worried about that right now. We can build another clay pit over here. Like that. Okay. I think I was planning on this storage yard having something other than pottery. We can go up to 50% on the potter. All right, we're getting the stone. We have the limestone. We could probably drop our first pyramid blueprint. And we're probably just gonna put it right there. It's a little bit intrusive. But honestly, these houses are already built up as high as I want to build them. So other than maybe culture spam later on, we shouldn't really need much more space on this side. And the culture spam can be put literally anywhere. That's why it's culture spam. Alright, let's build a couple more work camps. Ah, that's a bad spot for work camps. I guess we could put them in here. These darn crocodile spawners. Super obnoxious. This is usually a pretty nice level of housing. This tends to be where I stop upgrading things, unless I absolutely have to. Because, like, it's fairly easy to maintain. It doesn't really take a whole lot of effort. And you only need a few resources to do it. You basically need food, entertainment, beer, and pottery. So we're definitely going to probably have to build, well, we're definitely going to have to build more housing. We need to get up to 6,500 people. But as we upgrade, we'll go from there. We'll put another group of people over here. Put some housing here. We could put a whole lot of housing here, actually. Like all through here. It'd be pretty good. It'd be pretty good. But yeah, I just want to make sure I have enough room for my pyramids. And there's even more space over here that I could put housing. Like, I could put housing in here. Wow, that would be awful housing. But I could put housing in here. Make, like, some janky, like, road down like this. And then put housing in there. That would work okay. Alright, how does our culture look right now? Awful. Well, I could start working on some of that. Make sure there's enough physician access for everyone. I want to put a tax collector there. Well, I can't put a tax collector there because I need a city palace. I think we're making enough money that I could start embezzling from the people. Why not? We'll put it right next to the warehouses that keep all of our supplies. There we go. Okay, well, we're going to need more housing. So let's do this. Let's do some crazy nonsense here. And we're probably going to need a water supply. Are we gonna need another granary? Probably. There we go. Good enough. And they should get religion access. They should all be okay. Should be all good. Should be all good. Because we're going to need more work camps to do all these pyramids. We're going to need other services like the bricklayers and the carpenters guilds, stonemasons, all of those fun things. And, of course, we also need 6,500 people. So we definitely shouldn't be afraid to build more housing. As we listen to the music crescendo. So we could just, like, do this. I don't know what that accomplishes, but it looks better. And that's pretty important in the long run. It also helps with my vision for the future, because I can also bring this housing around to the side. I can do, like, this. Yeah. And there's some more housing for us. Excellent. We are probably going to need another... No. So here's the thing. If I give in to these demands, I'm just gonna pay the money. I'm just gonna pay the money. I don't really want to get into a fight right now, and I can always boost my kingdom rating later. But what I am going to do is I'm going to start preparing a military of some kind. Somehow, somewhere. I really don't have the space for forts, though. Maybe we're just going to have to accept our lot in life that we're going to have to pay some bribes. Here, let's put... Are we gonna have to put another courthouse in here? Probably. I don't really want to. Well... We could get rid of this courthouse. If we put a courthouse there... We put a courthouse over here somewhere. Maybe like there and there. It'll look a bit weird on the map, but with the way that the roads are worked out, I think it'll work okay. And then we just have this courthouse do most of this. I think that makes sense. Maybe it won't, but we'll see what happens. Put a courthouse there. We'll put a courthouse there. I think that'll work okay. Hopefully. We can hope that it'll work okay. We're gonna need wood for our carpenters. And I didn't really think about that. I mean, it's pretty easy to do, right? We just import some wood. We just have to be a little bit careful because wood is expensive. This area has poor desirability. Not really surprising. They're kind of packed in like sardines. There we go. That's the best I can do for you, Chief. Okay. 15% unemployment. Nice. Nice. I have a plan for this road. Eventually. I think. Maybe. Maybe not. Put a juggler school there. I don't actually know where the other juggler school is. Where is the other juggler school? I'm sure I built one. Hold on. Oh, that's not going to show me where the juggler schools are. Okay. Maybe I didn't build a juggler school. I find that hard to believe. Oh, whatever. I guess I have a juggler school now. So that's the important part. Okay. So we're making good progress on our first pyramid. Of course, the thing that's going to cause us the most time and problems is actually completing it. But we're getting there, slowly. 75 prosperity. We're going to have to upgrade some houses past this point eventually. But right now, we're just worried about making money. Making a little bit of money. My linen boon isn't going quite as well as I had expected it to. But I am going to go get a drink. I'll be right back. All right. I had to get up and stretch my legs for a few minutes, too. My legs were getting all stiff. And my throat was getting dry, so I just needed a sip of a drink and a little bit of a walk around. I think it might sound kind of odd, but that's something that I'm kind of looking forward to when I do get all my affiliate stuff set up. Because I'm gonna have ads. And when I say that, I don't mean like, oh, I'm gonna make so much money. I'm gonna make you sit through a bunch of ads and watch advertisements on the Twitch streams. It's more along the lines of it'll give me a minute to like stand up, stretch, relax, and chill, which is not something that I really get right now. And it feels kind of awkward to just pause my stream and get up in the middle of it. So it'll give me like nice breaks in the content where I don't have to just continue a continuous stream of thought, which is what tends to happen now. Or I just feel like I have to just keep going and going and going and going and going. And we're going to continue getting extorted by these people, even though it's going to make people mad because I don't have an army. But I am going to send a lavish gift to the people to help improve that kingdom rating a bit. Not enough entertainment to be found here, huh? I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. It's kind of at an odd angle. You could set up like a pavilion here. Eventually, that'll improve everything a little bit. Get yourself a BRB screen, problem solved. Yeah, I don't know. It still feels kind of weird to just get up and walk away when streaming. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Time will tell. Okay. Let's go ahead and build a carpenter's... I swear, these crocodile spawn points are evil. Everybody does it, nobody bats an eye. I bat an eye. I don't do it. Let's see. A second bricklayer and a stonemason. You just did? Kind of. But I've also been going for almost 7 hours and only took a quick break to make a phone call and get a bite to eat. So, yeah, I'm kind of winding down a little bit. Staring at a screen for so long. You know, you gotta get away. You can't just stare at a screen your entire life. Even though I have. Why is the desirability so bad here? I mean, I guess it's at the end, but... Oh, I have an idea. Am I in debt? Oh, I'm way in debt. Okay. I didn't realize how much in debt I was. I thought that was a positive number. Isn't that how real life works? You just look at your bank account and man, that's a red angry number. I thought it was a positive number. I guess I'm not $32,000 in the green. Viewers don't mind, they understand, and everybody needs and does it. Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's just that having like regular timed breaks with advertising, it's just like it's a trigger. It's a mandatory trigger. I know you know, other people do other things, and that works for them. But I don't know. It's just it's something that gives me a good reason to step away, even if it's for a minute. And the other nice thing about it is still needed BRB school, so yeah, that's true. But that's the other thing is that, you know, I want to be kind of considerate with people. Like, I don't want to just keep streaming and pretending that, like, you know, I don't have ads going. I don't think that's fair to the people who are not subscribed. I want them to be able to watch the content fully when they have it. So, like, when there's an advertisement break, that just gives everybody a chance to kind of sit back, relax, and, you know, take a breather. Not necessarily worry about what's going on in the game. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. This is coming from a place where, like, I don't really know what I'm doing. All of this stuff that I'm doing is just kind of at a whim. I don't really think too hard about it. You never noticed when I had an ad break? Yeah, I mean, it's all going to be new to me, so we'll see what happens. But first I have to get it all set up, and that's going to be a little bit of an endeavor. It's not going to be that hard. I have to have some conversations, though, before I set that up. How's our food situation isn't really looking that good. So we're probably going to finally set up these farms that I've been planning for a while. There we go. Excellent. All right. You've already used your emergency fund. Don't go into that again. You didn't give me an emergency fund game. Don't lie to me. Don't gaslight me like that. All right, well, we're already almost halfway to the population that we need, and we're only at 20% unemployment. Nice. What does everything else look like? Awful. Also awful. Not great. Sure. You need to make 8 chariots? That's gross. Okay. I mean, that's good to know for the future, at least. Okay, so what I was going to do is going to put me into debt again. I'm going to put the village palace right here. I might as well wait for a couple months until I actually have the money to do that. I'm not actually under any time pressure, so why worry about it? Ooh. Ooh. Well, there goes my linen maxing. That's unfortunate. I guess it is kind of far away from the closest fire station, so it makes sense that there would be issues there. Yeah, as soon as I have the money, I will do that. Okay, so what was this again? Was this, linen? Was it only linen? You know, I don't actually remember. I think it was only linen. Well, we can go with that. Yeah, we're going to give 1,900 gold to the city so I can pay off that bribe. I think that was only linen. I'll probably figure out later that it was something else that was super important. But I think I was planning on that being an export storage yard for linen. No entertainment. Entertainment seems to be a real problem in this city. Maybe if it wasn't just like one big, long, senseless line, entertainment would be easier to manage. But some poor planner has decided that this is the way he wants to build this city. It's probably really hard to get entertainment up to here. Or at least enough entertainment. Alright, finally, we're gonna start actually laying levels of the pyramid now. That's good. So, we should build a couple storage yards and have them get limestone to bring over here. That'll expedite this process a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And then these bricks are probably close enough that they won't cause a problem. Okay. So all the boys... we should be able to get 3,200 pomegranates. It may not be soon, but probably by June? 6 months? Oh. Oh, no, apparently that was all I had to do was set the stockpile. Oh, you know why? It's because, the game doesn't count resources in your granary that the bazaar workers are going to go pick up. So when I set it to stockpile, the bazaar workers were all, oh, well, we can't touch that then. And that just, like, put all of that counted pomegranates back into my inventory. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's such a good... I don't think I've ever been so happy to receive something so menial. That's a tiny amount of money they send me, and I'm like, oh, thank you. Here, now I can build my city palace. Beautiful. And now I can start taxing the people in the space. Excellent. There. That tax collector there should cover most of the town. And then I can also put one over here. And right there. There we go. That should give me almost full coverage. Are they just going to demand more and more money? Is this how this is going to work? Probably. It's probably exactly how this is going to work. The good news is I can build my second pyramid there. And I could build my third pyramid there. That'll look so silly when it's done. I kind of want to do it now, though. All right. Let's see, 260 unemployed workforce. Nice. Terma is willing to trade even more linen. That's nice. That's very nice. I haven't really been checking my linen operation, but I think it's going perfectly fine. I haven't noticed any linen being lost in the flood. And I mean, it's pretty active. We already almost have a full storage yard of linen. And it just burned down not that long ago. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, so let's try to squeeze a little bit more culture. No. No. Dancer? Dance stages? Yeah. Physicians? Scribble schools? The game really wants me to start building scribble schools, doesn't it? Well, I probably should. Alright. So we're going to go to 3/4 linen. We're going to go to 25% papyrus. And we're going to start importing papyrus. Let's go. We might as well rip the band-aid off. Import 400. Ooh, especially because we just got a big injection of money from selling a bunch of that linen. Nice. I knew it was a good idea to put the warehouse right next to the dockyard. It's almost like that's what the game wants you to do. Okay. The good news is we still have a lot of bricks, even though we're done with the first layer. And I'm tempted to start building the second pyramid to get the base of it done. I mean, it'll split the resources between 2 pyramids. Is that really a big deal? I mean, we're gonna have it coming in anyway. It's gonna be the same amount. I don't think it's a big deal to start multiple pyramids at the same time. I could be wrong about that, but it is what it is. We'll deal with it as the game goes on, as the game progresses. All right, so we definitely have enough industrial capacity to build even more brick layers, or brickworks. So let's build a couple clay pits here. You may not even need, well, I don't know. We'll do it. We'll build a few more clay pits. And then we'll, like, double up on brick makers. I mean, we have the people to do it, so we might as well. There we go. I'm a little bit worried about this loose end here, because this always seems to cause fire risk. But it might be fine. It should be fine. Maybe it'll be fine. There we go. That took care of some of my unemployment, so that's good. Okay, the papyrus is in, which means the scribble schools are definitely in. We'll put 2 there. We're gonna put 1 here. And 1 there. I think that'll be good. All right, it's turning into a nice little city. It's pretty good. I'm pretty content. All right, local access to a dentist. I can do that. I should have known that was next, but I don't pay attention to these things. There we go. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that, buddy. I can get rid of this statue and put a physician in? That feels kind of gross. But yeah, we'll put a couple cat statues behind it. There we go. We don't want, like, the patients from this physician, like, looking over into this doctor's office. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that. Oh. Oh. Something's not quite right here. I think this was supposed to be a Potter. And we're going to build another Potter because, well, we kind of need a little bit more pottery. I don't think we have to build another clay pit because we may be a little bit overbuilt on clay pits. I don't know. But hey, we got the first layer of this pyramid done. That's very good. Of course, as always, I think I say this a lot. The first layer is always the longest, takes the longest, takes the most resources. So getting it finished is very good. Very, very nice. So the people are looking for a second source of food. We probably have to import that, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to bother unless I have to. Okay. Well, we still have plenty of both resources, even though we have a second layer to do. So I think we have enough production right now as far as like the pyramid building production goes. What other things do I have to collect? Pottery, chariots, and jewelry. Yeah, the chariots are gonna be a pain. No entertainment. Entertainment is a problem over here. I think it's just too far for people to walk. So we can build a conservatory over here. Yeah. Also, yeah, the extortion demands are definitely getting more and more expensive every single time. Every single time they demand stuff from me. I guess it makes sense. You're supposed to fight them head on. Okay, so we should have more pottery coming in. That should solve this problem. The problem is that the problem is going to spread. But I think we'll be okay. Excuse me.
No one can accept these goods.
Oh, they're not.
I can use the rest.
They're not going to the pyramid. They're waiting for this to be opened up. I was a little bit worried for a second that we were going to have stuck resources. I was going to be sad, but I think we're fine. Okay, we're a little bit light on flax, it seems. But we have so much linen that it doesn't really matter. The second source of food, though, is probably something I'm going to end up having to look into. really thought I had... No, I really don't. I guess I have an architect's post all the way down here. Okay, fair enough. I probably deserve that then. What am I short on? Clay? Oh, what happened here? Why did my work camp explode? Interesting. Maybe we're not as well off on clay as I thought we were. Excuse me. I pushed undo. Alright, well, that's fine. Maybe I'm gonna have to build more clay pits. I don't know. Why am I bad at the game? Why am I so... What's this? Where did this come from? What? Settle down, game. Alright, we'll put a firehouse here. We probably don't need an architect's post. No. We'll place a brewery. Replace their brewery. There we go. Maybe that's what happened to this work camp here. Maybe it just burned down. That would make a lot of sense. This isn't ruining my kingdom rating, is it? No. Not yet, anyhow. Not enough houses have access to a dentist. I also need more dancer stages. There we go. Now we have pottery problems over here. That's not really surprising, but I think it'll work itself out. Maybe. I mean, we're still struggling to get clay to all of these places. Maybe it won't work itself out. Maybe I'm gonna have to build more clay pits. I mean, I can. Oh, right. Yeah, no, I forgot that I doubled up. I forgot that I doubled up on brickworks. Suddenly, it makes a whole lot of sense because I didn't double up on clay pits. Alright, well, I'm an idiot. It's fine. Let's just continue along this long string of roads, shall we? Because I'm sure this will be perfectly fine, and people will definitely be happy with the way the city is laid out. There we go. I'll put a water supply down here. Firehouse, architect's post. Actually putting down a water supply like I said I was going to do. and a bazaar. There we go. We could put a temple to Osiris back here. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. To actually plop down the temple complex. But for now, we're gonna just kind of do something like that. There we go. And what does this have to do with clay pits? Well, we're going to put a couple of clay pits here. Just a couple, though. Just a handful. Just enough to solve the problem. This is horribly inefficient. They have to walk the entire length of the city. I like it. I like it. Let's go. I also need a physician down here. Ooh. There we go. Oh yeah, there's a crocodile spawner right there. It's a good thing that's there. I wouldn't know what to do with myself if I didn't have crocodiles spawning in my houses. There we go. Alright, so that should be enough for those houses. I am going to want to put in more farms. And the floodplain farms, as much as I have dunked on them the last couple of playthroughs, the last couple of playthroughs of the game, yeah. They're probably the easiest to build here. There we go. And just for good measure, I'm gonna get, like, an off-ramp here. There we go. Excellent. Fire in the city. Why? See what I mean when I say that these little offshoot things can be kind of a trap? Because even though it's, like, right behind the firehouse, it's still catching fire, though. And it's largely because, you know, all of these intersections, they have to choose which way they go. And a lot of times they'll just miss these little offshoots. It's kind of a pain. It's kind of a pain. So, I don't think there's a lot of food in there. If there was, we'll be able to get it back. It's okay. Boy, we just have this massive, big, long stretch of road over here. It's kind of hilarious. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, but it's also kind of hilarious. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to build a granary over here as well. Just so that there's a place to drop off food over here. And so it can burn down and make me sad, but that's neither here nor there. There's also basically no easy way to get irrigation to these. the way that I have it set up. So we're just going to have to accept that that is my lot in life. Here, we'll put a couple of extra farms in here, just to be on the safe side. How much food does the game think I'm producing? Enough for 10,000 people. I have my doubts, game. I have my doubts. But hey, everybody seems to have food, nobody's starving, so maybe it does know what it's talking about. Who knows? Let's put another Potter. No, I can't put another Potter there. That's why I haven't put a Potter there. Okay, that's fine. We'll put one here. Or two. Maybe we'll put two here. Yeah, it is a good flood. That makes me kind of happy, considering how sad I've been at flooding lately. The last few missions I've done. But I'll take it. It is acceptable. It is passable. Oh, thank you, Karma. You're secretly my favorite city. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Some place will say Byblos is their favorite city. No, it's Karma. It's definitely Karma. 100%. Okay. We're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. We're still nowhere near any of our cultural requirements. We need to get that prosperity up. Exports earning more than imports. That's probably never going to happen. There seems to be some issues here. I'm not quite sure why every other house is unoccupied, but I'm sure it'll figure itself out eventually. All right, we only need 2 more for this rung. And the next pyramid is going to get started here soon, so that's good. We're gonna have to import food, aren't we? Okay. Well, we can import a second type of food. That's okay. What's causing problems here? Is it a crocodile? It sure is. Boy, I wish I could put my storage yard where I want to put it. That's fine. What do we want to import? Do we want to import chickpeas or meat? Technically, the chickpeas are cheaper. But I don't really think it matters. There we go. I may be getting a little bit ahead of myself, but it's fine. We're probably going to need to do that to get our prosperity up anyway, so we might as well bite the bullet now. Entertainment, huh? How can I get entertainment over to here? Easily. Alright, I think this will be worth it in the long run. It may not be. We're gonna get rid of that house. We're gonna put a bandstand here. We'll put a couple extra houses there. Nice. So that should attract the musically inclined. Yeah. Excellent. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. We can also put housing here. Just make it a little bit more uniform around. That might hurt desirability. Yeah, I was afraid of that. We'll just put a couple dog statues in here. Why not? Because there's crocodiles in the way. That's why not. There we go. Well, that's just gonna have to do for now. It's super odd that these houses don't have people in them. I don't really know why. Is city sentiment bad? No. Also, we're short 200 people. That kind of sucks. I mean, we can put housing on the other side of the river. Or we could put more housing on this side of the river. Yes. I'm doing it again. I'm making gross, disgusting messes of cities. It's fine. This is our life now. This is how it is. There we go. This is going to be a nightmare to get culture high in. This city is going to be awful to get culture in. It's fine. This is fine. We're fine. Look at how much money we have. We're spending so much money. And people are just flooding to come into this beautiful, beautiful city where nothing bad would ever happen. We're definitely gonna put a temple to Bast in here. The temple complex. Or, it's not Bast, this is Cyrus. Bast was the last mission. We're gonna put it, like, right there. Not right now, though. Later. Okay. Overall, I'm kind of happy with this. A crocodile lives there, so we can't put a house there. But, other than that, we're okay. This should get the workers we need. And I think I'm also going to build a suite of schools over here. The juggler school, the conservatory, and the dance school. All to make sure this has plenty of entertainment. Actually, I don't think we have a dance school in the entire city. This is why I'm bad at my job. Here, we're gonna put one there too. Yep. There we go. Didn't we have a good flood? Why do my farms look awful if we've had such a good flood? Oh, it's because they just pulled the resources from it. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Well, pottery is definitely a problem. It continues to be a problem. And I have a solution for that problem. It is called more potters. We even have a bunch of clay pits now. Nice. Alright, so we're trying to play catch up on our workers a little bit. That's okay. What's your problem? Desirability? Psh. What do you mean it's undesirable here? This is the most desirable part of the city. What are you talking about? As I quickly pave over the tiles. There we go. Problem solved. It's like nothing bad happened. See, again, though, we have these random houses that are not attracting people. But if I delete them and replace them, people will come in. Weird. The game might be freaking out because I've been playing it for like almost 8 hours now. Who knows? Oh, you know what it is? I bet it's the crocodiles. I bet the crocodiles are eating people. So like there's a whole bunch of crocodiles throughout the entire map, and I bet when they like kill an immigrant, one has to spawn all the way over here and then walk the entire length of the town once again. I bet that's exactly what the problem is. If I had to guess, that's what the problem is. Okay, we may have to build more clay pits. Sounds kind of silly. And it is. But that's what we're gonna have to be doing here. So. I was going to say we may need to import more beer. We may need to import more barley to make beer. That might be my next task. I feel like even though we've gained like 500 workers, we've only recovered about 50 or 60 actual workers. Current housing can hold 1,400 more people. So where are they, game? Hey, that's my next question. Why aren't they coming in? People want to come in, right? Yeah? There we go. I wonder why people... Yeah, I wonder why people aren't coming in. Like they are, but it's like a slow
People say
trickle.
that the city has plenty of food to go around.
We'll just have to wait for a while. We'll see if people will just slowly trickle in. Like, my first thought is city sentiment, but city sentiment is good. And it says people are immigrating to my city. So I shouldn't have a problem with people coming in. They just aren't. Maybe if we try to save and load the game. Maybe that will refresh the game and make it so people will come in. Maybe. Yes? Yes. Okay. I don't really know why people were not coming in, but apparently saving and reloading the game has fixed that problem. And just for good measure, we're gonna do that. Why am I doing that? Because sometimes in the remake, loading the game causes the ferry to break. So I'd rather peel that band-aid off now than worry about it later. Oh, and also apparently all of my houses have downgraded. Okay. Maybe it's a good thing that I reloaded the game then. Alright, so we're importing more beer. We're going to build more breweries to take advantage of that beer. I may even build... Do I want to build another brewery? No, I don't think we do. Okay. So that should solve my housing crisis, my population crisis. I was wondering why I just wasn't getting people. Apparently I wasn't getting people because I wasn't getting people. And now we're gonna get a huge surge of people. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. Of course, we also have to make sure we have the infrastructure for those people. So we may want to start farming this floodplain up here. Which is very, very doable. There we go. Nice. And we'll put a bunch on this side too. How much money have I given these people? I bet I've given these people so much money already. I mean, don't get me wrong, it kind of needs to be done. Because I don't have an army. But it makes me wonder if it would just have been cheaper to build an army to beat them up. It may have been. Well, that's kind of gross. Oh well, it's fine. There we go. Now we're getting a little bit of unemployment. You know what? Maybe it's about time I did put my foot down. Where do I want to put my foot down at? I guess we could put my foot down over here. So here's what we're gonna do. We need chariots anyway, right? Oh boy. This is going to be expensive. So I want to import 400 copper. And more wood. Now, the wood's going to go here. And it doesn't really matter where the wood is in my city to get to the carpenters. So I'm just going to send it over here. And then this is going to be chariots. Chariot City, baby. Chariot Workshop. Oh, it's so big. Oof. I didn't realize how big it was. There we go. Okay. We're gonna get some cool chariots. We're gonna have a whole squad, maybe even 2 squads of charioteers. Wouldn't that be nice? And then I could stop paying extortion bribes to these people who have been bullying me. Put a recruiter there. Of course, we're still probably going to have to bribe them for a little while yet, because I want to be able to have at least 1 or 2 groups of chariots prepared to fight them. Maybe. But we are going to start actually recruiting an army to deal with these guys. We'll build a... Oof. So big, too. We'll put a fort there. I do not want to put a fort down here. This is where I'm going to build my 3rd pyramid. So put a fort there, and then we could put, like, 1 or 2 more over here. I think that's what my game plan is going to be. Maybe we could put one, like, here. Of course, this is why the game says you're supposed to expand to the other side of the river, because there's not really a lot of room on this side of the river. But it's okay. It's okay. Although, one thing we may want to look into is a shipwright to build warships. We may be getting ahead of ourselves. What I would like to do, I'd like to put a dock, like... I'd like to get a second dock, but I don't think that's going to happen. Unless I did something weird. So maybe we'd start doing something weird. Okay. I don't even know why I'm paying myself a salary at this point. I'm just giving it all to the city. Okay, I need a magistrate over here too. How suddenly we jumped from like 3,000 people to 5,000 people. It's pretty funny. Now, that's not really the way that I want you to be taking important and or valuable resources. But, hopefully it won't cause problems later. It probably will. All right, we're starting to make chariots. That's nice. But at what cost? This is going to be very expensive, and we can't really afford. You know what? This is 100% worth sacrificing a farm for. Yeah, I agree with that. I say to myself as if I was talking to myself. It's fine. Yeah. There we go. 'Cause that is disgusting. That is a disgusting backlog of traders. So hopefully that will relieve them. We may need to build more flax farms, funnily enough. Sell more linen. Sell more linen, sell more beer. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I mean, obviously once my pyramids are done, I'll be able to sell all of these extra bricks. And that'll be very nice. But that's still a long time coming. It's going to be a while before I'm ready to do that. Because, you know, I have like 80 pyramids to build. Go. Okay. So yeah, we can definitely afford at least one charioteer. We'll put it over here. Right there. I should probably build an academy too. That's usually a pretty good idea if you want to do military stuff. I'm hoping the game isn't that mean that I would need a military academy to fight off the enemies of a peaceful mission. But I don't know. I don't know what the game might throw at me. It is an optional fight. I don't have to pay them money. But I'm going to pay them money because they scare me. So basically, it's exactly why extortion exists in the first place. You know, come to life. We're gonna get rid of that farm. We're gonna do that. That makes some more sense. And then we're also going to probably put a couple of flax farms down here once the floodplain is done. Okay, we're actually making really good progress on this pyramid. I'm actually really happy with how fast this is going up. I know it seems like it's going up slow. That's only because I typically play these at super fast speeds when I'm only doing the pyramid. I wait for the pyramid to go up at the end. But we may have the first one almost done before we reach the objectives. Look at that handsome man.
We'll fight to the death to defend our fair city.
Yeah. It's a fancy charioteer right there. Alright, I just invested a lot of money into these chariots, so I hope they're worth it. I also kind of want to build a second archer fort. I have a feeling building a fort right there is a very bad idea. But I might have to. Either that, or I'm going to have to sacrifice this spot for the third pyramid. Put the pyramid over here, and then use this area for forts. That is another possibility. I don't really like that possibility, but it is a thing that we could do. You know, let's pay ourselves less money, shall we? We're just giving it all back to the city anyway. We might as well. Okay. We have a lot of unemployed workforce all of a sudden. I wonder how that happened. It's almost like we had almost 2,000 people come in at the same time. I'm wondering if maybe I should invest in some more jewelry. It seems like jewelry is not really carrying its weight at the moment. Although I say that, we just sold a bunch of jewelry
We're waiting
there.
for some cargo to be delivered to our ship.
How much food does the game think we're making? 13,000 people, huh? Okay, if you say so. We could sacrifice these farmlands over here. We don't really need that much food, much more food, to get 6,500 population. And it would just prevent a little bit of congestion. Plus, we're importing food. You know what? 3 months, $2,000? I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that anyway. Even if I wanted to do that, I don't think we'd be able to do that. Alright, we have 16 archers. Let's build a second archer fort. And we'll put it up here. put it there. A little bit of debt, it's fine. It'll grow back, I'm sure. Beer is still a really bad problem. And I don't really have a solution to that problem. I could import more barley.
For some cargo to be delivered to our ship.
That seems a little bit excessive.
I wonder if the city has any...
I should make it so that this port doesn't sell linen. That way all the linen buyers are right here and they just jump right in, grab the linen, and go. I think that makes a lot more sense. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the jewelry isn't carrying its weight anymore. Not like the linen is, anyhow. And I do have a little bit of room. Okay, I don't. I don't have any room. Well, I could put one gem mine up here. So yeah, I guess we really don't have the extra room. Beer is the real problem right now. Alright, I don't want you to trade barley. Or papyrus. The rest is probably fine. The big thing, though, is that barley, linen, papyrus are all right here. They'd be super fast. Oh, look at that crocodile go. He's a reptile on a mission. That's right. You stand right by that pyramid, good sir. Or madam. Either or. All right. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. I don't think I'm gonna pay the tribute, though. I'm gonna hope and pray that my charioteers are good enough. All right, Tana. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out today. I always appreciate our talks. It's enlightening. Hopefully you have a good sleep. Oh, also we need more flax. I completely forgot to build more flax. There we go. Excellent. $500 unemployed workforce. Not a big deal. I don't have a solution to this. Or that. I know I don't have a webcam, and you cannot see me shake my head in disappointment. but I am definitely shaking my head in disappointment. Alright, what's the solution to this? Let's get rid of this warehouse. And we're going to put it over here. It's a terrible idea. It's going to catch on fire. And then we're also going to put a warehouse over here. With pottery. For pottery. So that way, if the potters go this way, you know, they don't die here. The traders will drop off chickpeas here. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. Have you forgotten Bubastis? Send troops within the next 6 months or the consequences may be dire. I have actually forgotten Bubastis. I didn't realize it was under siege. No transport ships. Okay, well. I'm gonna try. I didn't realize they were under siege. I don't remember the game telling me that. I must have just not missed it. I must have just completely missed it. That's fine. Let's see, transport wharf. There we go. Excellent. Probably still not going to make it. But I don't have a better solution right now, so it's gonna be what it's gonna be. We're just gonna have to live with it. Do we trade anything important to Bubastis? Oh yeah, they buy jewelry. That's probably not good. Does anybody else buy jewelry? Men Neferta buys jewelry. Okay. So at least we won't completely lose our jewelry. Calling it a night might be a good idea. Now that everybody's leaving me. Not so much that, but also I've been streaming for 8 hours now. I'm starting to lose my energy. Alright, we got workers. We just need the wood to come from here all the way over to there. It's gonna take it 6 months to get there. So that'll be great. You know, I think we just kind of accept that this is how it is. But what we are going to do, because we may need to, is we're going to do some warship wharfs. Yeah, it's fine. And we're gonna kind of just have to accept that it is what it is. Well, maybe we'll get some ships. Send what we can, anyhow. Hope that's enough. We're still nowhere near the 70 culture that we need. We may have to split this up into 2 parts. I may not have the energy to keep doing this tonight. Wonder if we're gonna be able to pull off one more ship. Doesn't seem like it's likely. Let's make an attempt. Oh, no, it's... Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Alright, I think we're going to get back into the green, and then we're going to need to actually call it a stream for now. I think we're going to make this into a 2-parter. Because I'm running out of juice. And we just keep going back into debt. It's fine. I think when we actually manage to sell a bunch of the jewelry, I think we'll be good. Okay, so we're not completely doomed. The game is going to give me a chance, it seems, to send troops. Late? 6 more months. It is what it is. We'll try to get that done. We'll try to send troops. Wait, what happened? What happened to the wood that was delivered to here? It just went away. Huh. Alright, well, you know what? Whatever. It is what it is. We're gonna save it here. I think this is the first time I've actually, like, had to stop in the middle of a city. I tried to do them all in one sitting, but like I said, I've been streaming for 8 hours. I'm out of energy. I'm wiped out. I'm tired. I need to take a break. So, thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to hopefully sit down and finish this mission tomorrow. That's what my game plan is. And where are we at as far as the game goes? Let's take a look here. So we're on the New Kingdom. We're on Sauty. So we have, you know, not many missions left to go until we get to the expansion missions. These ones are pretty much all new to me. Like, I think I've done this one and maybe this one. So we'll see what we could do with that. But thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, happy gaming. I streamed this for 8 hours yesterday, and I actually, for the first time, actually stopped in the middle of a mission. I just kind of got tired, and I was like, you know what, I need to take a break. Seeing technical games and seeing how they work, yeah, that's fair. Let's see, I know Dyson Sphere program is on my list of games to play this year. I don't know if I'll get around to it because, honestly, it's taken me so long to play the games on my list as it is. I have 2 days of vacation left, today and tomorrow, and after that we're going to probably go back to a more sporadic stream schedule again. Unfortunately, this isn't my job, it's a hobby, so I gotta go back to work. Yeah, Dyson Sphere, yes. Yeah, it is what it is. I've had a fun time off, though. I've enjoyed getting back into the stream scene a little bit more regularly. I'm hoping I can keep it up. It's just, I have a very weird schedule where I'm super busy one week and then not very busy the next week. And because I work overnight, it's a little bit awkward sometimes because I'm usually sleeping during the day, and then, you know, in the afternoon I don't really feel like streaming. It's just kind of weird. It's just kind of weird. But let's get into this game. See where we left off. I think it was mostly just the culture grind that put me off continuing to play the game. After having to deal with it a couple of times. But we are nearing the end of the game. There's only a few missions in the New Kingdom overall. I think there's 3 or 4. So we have these pyramids to do, but that's not a big deal. We could just fast forward through them. And we also have a distant battle, which we're not going to be able to do anything with because we don't have the troops and we don't have the transports. So the distant battle is just going to have to wait. Hopefully we can resolve that next time. But we have 672 unemployed people, so we should be able to spring that into a lot of culture. But first we have to deal with our debt problem. And our debt problem isn't going to resolve itself overnight, that's for sure. We're already struggling to get beer in. Most of the city is doing okay. I'm not too concerned about the beer situation because, well, I have 24% unemployment, so do I really need the people at this moment? The answer is no. I'm not too concerned about the people as a whole. The big thing is getting a positive income, which I think we have a positive income. I'm just spending a lot of money. Like, let's take a look at our expenses here. So we make roughly 16,000 income. And our expenses last year were 18,000, mostly from imports and our personal salary and our wages, which we can't really do anything about wages. But what we can do, let's take a look at our imports. Let's see what all we're importing. I think we're importing a lot of things. We don't really need to import food, I guess. We need the barley. That should pay for itself overall with the beer. The papyrus, there's not really much we can do. The copper and the wood, those are probably our 2 most expensive imports. And until we get our troops set up, we're probably going to want to keep those imports going. Because we are going to need chariots for the burial supplies, and I want to get a second group of soldiers. Now that I stopped paying my extortionists, Which, is that shown in the Overseer? No, it's not. So it must have been a previous year. Okay. But overall, if we just stopped doing construction, we would probably break very close to even. But it is what it is. And it looks like we may be able to send one. I do have a warship.
We're as dangerous as a crocodile, ready to attack our invaders when they arrive.
I'm not quite sure why it's not letting me send the warship, but I guess I could send the soldiers. Let's see if we can get another transport ship going. How many more months do we have on this? 2 months to comply? Maybe we can get another ship. Okay. You need a core house, that's fine. None of this area has beer anymore. Oof. Well, it is what it is. I keep looking at jewelry and going, should I increase our jewelry production in order to get more exports for jewelry? And I don't know. I don't know if that would be worth investing into. There's only one place that buys jewelry, and it's... Okay. Let's send... Yeah, let's send a couple of boys here. Better to send one and lose than not sending any. You still get the demand fulfilled versus the kingdom rating go down. My kingdom rating is probably awful right now. I don't know whether or not sending the charioteers. Charioteers are really powerful. I don't know if sending them would help me or if it doesn't really matter who I send. I think for now we're just going to send... We're going to send the archers. We might as well. Hopefully they'll get there in time. Can we see those boys on the map? We cannot. Oh well. Ooh. I have a bunch of dirty dishes on my desk. Don't worry about it. Okay. So overall, our pyramids are going good. They're slow to build, but that's okay. And the other thing to keep in mind is a lot of our financial problems will probably be solved once... Yeah, I expected as much. Yep, a lot of our income problems will resolve when we're done with our pyramids because we can just sell all of the bricks that we're producing. So that's important to keep in mind. All right, do we have enough chariots? No, we still need 2 more chariots. I'd like to get another unit of chariots, which, no, I can't. I can't justify this. I'm going to cut back on my imports of copper and wood. It's just too expensive. It's way too expensive. I'll have to crank that up again at some point, probably, but hopefully we can make some of that money back. We have a chariot. We have 1 chariot. We have 2 archers. Hopefully, if we do get attacked, we will be okay. And we have 1 ship. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, but it is what it is. Anyway, we should probably just stop importing copper. We have 8 chariots now. We don't really need copper unless we want to build more chariots or weapons. We may need to. We may need to at some point. But again, it's just way, 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 way too expensive right now. This is a peaceful mission. It's supposed to not be aggressive in its war, right? Yeah, totally. So if we stop importing copper, that will definitely help our finances, because imports are bad right now. Imports are really bad. Okay, once we get some money into our bank, we'll be able to start working on culture. Our prosperity is really bad. That's because of unemployment. That makes sense. Yeah, culture is always going to be a problem. Culture is just so hard to get. We could probably fast forward at this point. I don't know. I always hate to fast forward through the game, because I feel like... I don't know. My rules are weird. Sometimes I like to fast forward, and other times I don't like to fast forward. We are kind of just waiting for these pyramids to finish. So in that sense, we should fast forward, but we're also not in a place where I feel comfortable fast forwarding, because we're so far in debt. We have real problems right now, and we're trying to work on it, but it's just gonna take some time. Like, we need a whole bunch of work camps because we have 600 unemployed bops. But since we're not importing copper, okay, so we have to send more troops to Bubastis. I don't really have more troops to give you, buddy. Okay, let's set up another transport wharf. The problem is that our troops aren't prepared from the last time, but it's fine. We'll have to send some troops. I think if I had to do this mission again, I would be more eager to ignore the demands for money, because I sent so much money to the enemy, and honestly, that hasn't been that bad. Like, I expected them to attack me, but if they're just going to attack my trade allies, that's not as bad. Why would you do that? Because I didn't have an army. I thought they were going to come and attack me. That's why. It looked good at the time. It seemed like a good idea. I didn't realize that they were going to keep demanding resources. I thought it was going to stop eventually, but it never did. And then I was like, well, you know what? I'm not going to pay them any money. That's when I started building forts. Hello, tetrahedron. That's why I started building forts, because I knew they were going to start going on the offensive once I stopped paying them off. Alright, we have positive income. That's good. We can send reinforcements. I'm going to wait. Maybe we can get all 3 of these guys ready to go. But we need to get our culture up. Senate houses, dancers. We should have a lot of dancers. Well, I guess we can look at diversions, right? No, I guess we do need a dancer stage. At least one more. Let's see, where would I want to put that? I could change this out. Let's get rid of... That may cause more problems than not. That's the biggest issue with building a city that's just a big, long line, is finding places for these intersections for entertainment. needs to come down a little bit farther, huh? There we go. This is a little bit gross, but that's okay. There. I'm sure that will get plenty of use. Okay. We should probably build a Senate house, too. The problem is that we're already struggling for beer. Building a Senate house is going to be more beer out the window. I guess it's fine. It's for culture. We're going to need it anyway. You know, they don't have to be connected. You could just make a little hub with tons of them. I know, but I like making my towns look kind of organic. I know it doesn't really look that organic because it's out in the middle of nowhere, and there's not really any benefit to putting it out here. But I know I could just make like a hub with a bunch of entertainment things in order to just kind of grind out the culture. But for the same reason I don't like building a whole bunch of work camps just to pad my unemployment, I also don't like just building a whole bunch of like random clusters of like entertainment things just off in the middle of nowhere. I'm weird like that. I'm sorry. So libraries, dentists, physicians. Okay. We don't have any libraries. We could increase our imports of papyrus. And then build a library. Call it the tea house quarter and be done with it. No. That's not what we're doing. It's gotta look good. It's gotta look photogenic. At least somewhat. I think I've mentioned it before, but the problem is that, like, they expect the cities to be a lot less efficient than they are, which is why it's so hard to get the culture score if you build your city at least somewhat properly. Like, the game told me very clearly that it wants me to build, like, a massive sprawling city on both sides of the river. I don't really think I need much more than this. I might need to build a little bit of housing over here just to pad my population. But this is pretty much all I need. And then there is the Great City to Bast, which you're supposed to build that up. You're supposed to have like thousands and thousands of people while you build up to the fancy, extravagant manors. And I already had the fancy, extravagant manors, and I only had 2,500 people in my city. Now that took a lot longer because I needed to also build 2 monuments, but yeah, the game just expects you to be worse than you are, and that's not a bad thing. But yeah, unemployment, definitely a real problem, but I think as I continue to grind out this culture and prosperity, I don't think it will be that much of a problem. All right, let's send the boys. Oh. Well, I'm glad that they can just teleport straight to the city and then immediately teleport back. That's good. That's good. If only it was that easy all the time. Alright, so we have the chariots that we need. We have the pottery that we need. We're going to have to build up the jewelry stores that we need eventually. But that shouldn't be that bad. Physician, mortuary, dentist. Not enough places to worship. Okay. How does our health look? Excellent. Excellent. And then, of course, we have no mortuaries in the city. Okay. So we only need to build, like, 1 or 2 more physicians. Maybe a couple of dentists. And a few mortuaries. That's a good spot for a mortuary. I want to be a little bit careful with mortuaries because it is my primary export. The linen that we need for the mortuaries is also the linen we need to survive. So we'll have to be a little bit careful with that, but I think 4 mortuaries will be fine. I may need to build up a few more just to get our numbers padded. But yeah, these pyramids are going very well. We have one that's almost done. We have one that's partially done. We haven't started the 3rd one. I don't think we can fit it in here until... Yeah, we're going to have to get rid of this road to be able to fit it in here. So we're going to have to wait until these ones are done. In fact, we can't put it there either. So maybe we are going to have to put this elsewhere. I thought I had this whole section planned out. We could maybe put it in here, but we'd have to get rid of these warehouses. We could probably do that. It would just take some effort. We'll worry about that when these pyramids are done. Or at least when one of them is done. Actually, I do want to start the other pyramid, don't I? Is it stupid to put a pyramid over here? On a scale of 1 to 10, how dumb is it to put a pyramid on this island? I'm going to be guessing probably about a 9.5. Yeah, that's what I thought. But it would look cool, yeah. It would look very cool. It would just take way long to finish. When it comes to flood, access will be barred. Yeah, so you would only be able to work on it when it wasn't flooding. So every few months out of the year, work would just stop on the pyramid. But here's the thing, though. It would look cool. Unless it's a bad flood, yeah. But it would look cool. You know, I care about my time. If I was playing this game on my own, I would 100% do it. If I cared about my time less, I would do it. But we do have things that we need to do. I can't play Pharaoh for the rest of time. So we're going to put it over here, probably. What that means is that we'll have to transport bricks over to the other side. Well, that's awkward. I don't have any firehouses here. Oops. Well, that's fine. The shipwright built all the ships that it needed, right? So my biggest concern with the flooding thing, and we've seen it a little bit, and this is the actual real reason why I'm probably not going to do this. They're going to be transporting materials through the floodplain while it's flooding, which means we will lose so many materials to the flood that it is just probably not worth doing. So we're going to put it up here. Unfortunately, I don't want to do it that way, but it doesn't fit down here. I want to get started on it. And so we're just gonna have to deal with what we're doing. Okay. So where are we with culture? We're at 60 culture. That's pretty good. And we're working on building libraries. Yeah. Let's build that library. We'll put it in here. There will be no access to it, but, or it won't be able to access many houses, but that's okay. There we go. And we can also plop a few work camps down back here. Just to pad my unemployment, I guess. Okay. There we go. That'll help a little bit. Because now we need to grind out the unemployment. We need to reduce the unemployment so that we actually have our prosperity going up again. And then once we get prosperity up, once we get culture up, we'll get kingdom up, then we'll fast forward through and complete the monument. Getting 6,500 people is not going to be terribly difficult, I say, as I try to figure out how to get more beer into the city. I mean, we don't need beer. You can just put a bunch of housing up here and get 6,500 population. The problem is, when we put housing up here, we're going to get more people. And that means we're going to have higher culture requirements. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Okay. They still want more dentists, though. Dentists must just not provide a bunch of coverage. Because it feels like I'm always having to overbuild dentists. Okay, so could we maybe import more barley? Produce more beer? I feel like we've already done this once. Or at the very least import more barley, because it seems like we're always out of barley. Okay, let's go ahead and build a string of housing up here. I don't need a lot of housing. I need basically just enough housing for an extra 500 people, if that. And I can also grind culture up here as well, if I truly need to. Which I'm going to. Getting high culture is super, super grindy. So we're just gonna do a little square of housing. I've done this a whole lot already. There we go. We're gonna put a couple architects posts. Got a couple firehouses. There we go. We'll put a water supply here and there. We'll put a bazaar here and here. And wait, because we're out of money. Yeah, so we can pad culture up here. We can also pad our unemployment just by, like, doing this and building a bunch of work camps. I should have money I can give to the city, right? Yeah, 1,200. It's not bad. Excellent. All right, well, leave those guys trickle in. We'll work on getting beer to everybody. And we got to top off our culture. Oh yeah, I guess we also need temples. Yeah, that's fair. We do need a temple complex. That'll help our culture. Give me a minute. I promise this will make sense. There we go. I will probably need another water supply that we can maybe put up here when the game lets me. There we go. And now we could put our temple complex. What? No. No, it's still... Okay, okay. I'm like, wait a second, I thought it was the perfect size. What's going wrong? Alright, we can put our temple complex right there. We just need the money to do so. There we go. Excellent. Yeah, there's a little bit of debt. It'll be fine. We will have to be a little bit aware of the other gods. They may not be happy. Add space for the festival, that's the end. I've done that before, yeah.
What a wonderful journey.
It does. Yep, it sure does. I also used to do that with pyramids. Like, I would build a pyramid and then I would put like a festival square in front of it, like here. That's also a good way to make them look nice. Alright, unemployment is down. That's good. That means that our prosperity should be going up. Yes. Our culture still leaves some things to be desired. But that's okay. We could produce more linen. That's not necessarily a bad idea. Put some flax farms in there, and then a bunch of weavers like here, and then maybe down here as well. Because that's another problem we're going to start running into, is that we're going to start using these resources, right? And whenever we use these resources, they're not being sold, so our exports are going to shrink a little bit. Not dramatically, but a little bit. Except for jewelry, because we just don't use jewelry.
I wonder if the
These boats are so hard to click on.
While they unload my ship.
Okay. Okay, we need physicians. We'll overbuild on physicians a little bit. And we'll need dentists. And we'll need entertainment. Not only will we need entertainment, but we'll also need the buildings to man the entertainment over here. So, like, we'll need a pavilion. But then we'll also need to build the other important things, like the bandstand, the conservatory, and the dance school. Like that. That'll definitely help our unemployment. That's for sure. And then we'll come back here in a few minutes. Egypt is engaged in combat at the distant city of Rawardi. Requires you to dispatch reinforcements there. Send aid in 12 months. Alright. I wonder if... I think that they'll struggle to get the supplies over the ferry. Except for the limestone, since it's already over here. But I wonder if the guilds will cross the ferry. Because that's the one thing that I'm struggling with the remake of this game, is that not everything that I feel should actually goes across the ferry. And it's actually kind of a problem. Just like our beer supply is actually kind of a problem. Okay, how does our culture look now? We're still at 60, huh? It looks like we need like one more physician and one more dentist. We'll plop a dentist like here, I guess. And then we'll plop a physician, I don't know, over here. Why not? And then we'll also need a mortuary or two over here. Now, we've been hovering very close to debt this entire time. So I'm a bit wary. I'm a little bit wary. Anyway, these guys should resolve this base very quickly, and we should be ready to start transporting resources there. These guys are also going to start needing beer. I'm not too worried about that. Still physician and dentist. I feel like it's just constantly slightly too few. It's kind of obnoxious. All of our diversions are perfect, so that's good. Our scribal schools are perfect. It's just public health and probably also religion. I don't have an easy way to see how happy our people are with religious access, but we probably need more of it. So we're just gonna kind of go set, raw, that's fine. A little bit of debt never hurt me. Osiris, set. It's just a very holy section of town. There we go. That's why the Grand Temple's here. There we go. That'll help a little bit. And then we'll just have to focus on the pyramid building. A thief stole money from my mansion. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. But these folks are a long way from home.
It'll take all
Well,
day.
it is what it is, I suppose. %8 unemployment? Okay. Debt anniversary. I don't think I have enough. I don't really have enough money to get my city out of debt. At this point, I don't even know why I'm paying a salary. I'm just paying it right back into the city. But it's okay. It's fine. Also, yeah, our culture is exactly where we need it, as is the kingdom, and the prosperity will rise naturally on its own. So I think it's probably about time for us to fast forward, yeah? Here, we can send our army to Rawardi, and maybe we can push back the baddies. And then we can start fast forwarding. Okay, just here. I'm gonna get to. I'm already. Every party. I'm here. Can I do the party here? Is it a discussion? Here I did work is. The resource here is really me. And up here is not for here. Hey, I'm right. Those people hanging out after all. That's gonna be nice price. So that means and okay. I'll try to get off. These cool sides of the building and go around. Oh, it is. You could probably start selling it. How does that work? So I probably have to do this problem. I have to do work section of the in here to meet your market. So I have to. Where's one of these? Here. So I have to like clear out this in here, all the it, and all the rows right here. What's happening is our stores actually already go away. So that's funny. I don't really sell sorry, I know. I'm making money. The sorry. I can sell sorry. Probably not spending money. And I actually live in the sorry. I should be more. We'll see. I will do it. Oh, hey, we're here. Huh. Okay. That's it. Anything to do. Oh, no, it's not very. I don't know. So, it's sorry, I'm not still eating which I now where it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. That's our problem. Our person. So I'm actually right now, I'm hoping all your okay. So, crime seems to be a problem. Should probably use right? I have no other consoles here. See. So I just have to do crime. One here, here. Alright, that's that bar again. There we go. We're gonna see that. Embrace it. I can process this. But honestly, these equal house here somehow. Maybe. If I can get this roast of the video, I can just use the browser. Nice. Okay, so this is, take those here, start to here, basically one, then first we solve here. Now what I could do is make this a really line, put a story right here, and have them hit bricks. Oh, yeah, this over. And because apparently, these lines have to do legally one pass, you see that there. And then it comes down to our campaign here. So we have to see that? Yeah, maybe. See those there. That's not even yeah. That's actually that. Yeah, we can see that. We have it. Nice. I guess you have to and I usually don't get it on your building. It's like Alright, what we're gonna do? Well, okay, we got all the areas. Well, we have one having area, and the be much faster. We should probably also build more bits. Because we probably have to spread across 3 areas. So we'll just kind of do that. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, so this is the base. Base. Should be out. I mean, very good. And does it like, well, we must. I would say 80 here, so this is as. Not here. So yeah, it's fine. Probably the same cost for this side here. But I don't know. These are still a problem? Another problem in the way. Let's see. Risk of crime. I see better. There's probably much worse for well, this area is better, because I can put some crime volume over here as well. There you go. Perfect. So this area is being finished extremely fast here, so, but it's fine. I really keep these here, down to be honest with this. And this one's done anyway, this one's not getting too although, please do. This one may finish first, but I kind of doubt it. If it's finishing, the others will go faster. So that's worth it. Yeah, I think we're going to have an issue where this order is going to be here. It's going to be here, but it's not going to be here. We'll see what happens. I mean, a lot of software here, too. Yeah, let's just stop for here as well. I think we're using, or everything for version test, but I still have extra doing this. It's kind of tough. I don't know why. Well, I'd say it was already tough to do it myself. It's really more to I could like, we're trying to lose them down to there. See how this works this time. And let's do that. If I don't read, stability, I can solve this problem. This is easy. Alright, so a primary over here. One like that, I couldn't have it. Let's go. And it kind of works right. Well, you're not going to do that. Let's get these houses already allowed. This is the CP pretty obviously not top already though. I think it's so good. Let's see what else. No, and some freezing things over here. It's all fine. But it's really bad, work. Well, the work that I can build over is. No, this is what I think over is. There you go. Why don't you. Rotate this and yeah, it's fine. I was like, I don't know. You're absolutely right, also easy. And you're easy. It's not really easy to argue it. In later, I think we should do it. Then I can also do this as well. Well, we can do this that way. There you go. It's still such a cool. Why? I hope it's here. I guess it's fine. Yeah, yeah. Alright, Alright, so I should probably slash yours from little rounds. You have it. It's fine, we're still seeing those now. Yeah, you're probably right. So, what's probably that I need to go back to now. So, I think it's here. That's fine. How does our culture look? Our culture look? Good. Is your name first? Yeah, exactly. Is your name first, guys? This is really great. See your name first. I'm gonna do this one. Huh. That's fine. It's already a little bit better right here. There's still some areas here. There's some areas over here. And all over here. Yeah. Because I think, well, I didn't prioritize these resources for the rest, but it does. These resources get all the and there's not enough fish over here. Anyway, all fish soon enough. And we love that yeah. Alright, there's enough. There's only 3 missions in the video. So, there's 3 missions, and we're like multiple missions. Here's I'm gonna do some on the other side. Yeah, I have to do yards. I'm gonna end up moving these storage yards down to here. Less serious time. But I think back on these yards, these, this one, and this one. The hill floor, sorry, stop hill floor, reason over here. Let me know, boys, good work. That's next speed. That's exciting. Here we go. That's our fair Feel free. Our story will improve once we start explaining bricks. The thing is that my imports, I mean, our definitely will be amazing. Yes. Yeah, it's already exactly bricks. And once you get into the bricks higher, we start these. There's only bricks, some high and probably actually these. We'll probably start selling bricks now. There's only bricks. Only main, once we start bricks. We'll start selling. Okay, so our third release, our second is on sleep, and our third is on sleep. The only really is and I will over time. I'll make all that work at upgrading house here. It could again. I look very similar to first. That's a question. I'm first. This is good. No, so just save the game and see if that solves the problem. Because I last time, definitely. I last time you're teamwork makes it the game. And you're so good here as well. See if that solves the problem. Probably not completely user it. I'm crazy so hard for not ready here. There we go. As is or has been a known bug in Unera, probably the game honestly. It's one bug that fixed for any game. I'm compared to software. I'm software reload. The very really instant. Yeah, probably a bug ruined the It's better than some game, yes. But I mentioned for their constantly changing game where you're stuck on those levels. So that's not a game. This is right now, 47. I hope we have those bodies. No, we didn't see past. We're going to hold on to we can't work here. We can't work here. What is that? Here's what we work here. You guys all my yeah, we'll probably like resistance. I just like to do housing. Don't get first part of it. There we go. Can you bring your work right now? Does that help? Most of our done, so we'll do work on them. Those not really work I might as well freeze anyway. These are some I'll be outside. Nothing food. And that's nice. So you're here. So you have everything here. It's not going to be so bad because we're starting to take care of it. I'll just say something go nice. You're right. You're right. But I don't know. It's okay. I just won't let them. Pardon my favorites. Anyway, okay, so you almost them. Anybody has something to do? Yeah, so it is a work bricks. Yeah, we already have some bricks that it's probably not going to be a problem. Here's the down. That's the active amount. Granted, the mines are probably going for a pool and an acid amount of that. Oof, the sales. Big money. Yeah, right. It's pretty big. They have. Okay, I'm selling for sale. You're going to have me bricks instead. Well, I need to do already done. Yeah, I'll be selling here. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, I'll kind of plan. So what I'm saying, you should try to go here to make this your parts and just turn off this history and all the work you don't have. So I can work on some it's that. Technology. Technology. Right here. There you go. Next. So how much straw is 4,000? That's enough. I'll trade more bricks. More straw, more bricks, more bricks, more meat. Yeah, these are. Okay. You can find something that you're right. But one good anymore. I want food. Except this, we have to get our okay, I'll look into more at decisions and like that's good. About the blue videos? That's fair point. We are happy. It's still here, he doesn't get in. There we go. There we go, perfect. Alright, I'm gonna panel before I go up. It's not pretty big. I'm excited to have a here, but it's fine. I'll improve our definitely coverage here. That we don't have to go across the crossover, but it's really high to improve on. Just a little bit. Well, it's all these great good workers. Anyway, I can make something here. That's all the this time. Yeah. Let's see if it's not close to touching. I feel like already. That's right. There we go. Put it on there. I'm just clicking right. Oh, nice. Oops. I swear to do that game. But you guys want to go for it. How's it? Stuff. Never changing with that. Well. Alright, we have our jewelry done. We start exporting jewelry done. That's good. Right. I'll just very slowly be on there. It's going to be before it's though. Unfortunately, it's not going to do it. You're stopping that. You're stopping me. Fuck requires something to but they can't do it. But this time, fuck requires I do not want to. I'm going to answer now. There we go. Definitely going to there we go. Next. I mean, it's not awful. It can be far worse. But the problem there, let's get rid of this. What do you want people? Let's not understand it. We're supposed to be on Pharaoh. Zero on Pharaoh with Pharaoh. Makes sense. 100%. No, 100% Pharaoh with Pharaoh. So there are. Here, I'll go here. Let's turn off our blue Pharaoh. Yeah. So we'll here. So we run percentages each Pharaoh. So there will be less. So you run the 3 minutes in like 2 minutes. And I'm sure I've done it for all. Oh, we've done it for an hour. What? I'm gonna do that because spoilers to the new Pharaoh. Yeah, we have to be like really in theory. In theory, it's this year. And have to be number 1% Pharaoh. Pharaoh. And this started happening here. There. For 3 minutes. No one's last minute between. Interesting. So after that, I just want to know. And so, you know, have some food to sit around. I'll fix that. I put a bunch of right there. That's the place to start with the yes, of course. Oh, it's already brand well. Okay. You don't have too many files in our access. Okay, 7. Page 100 150 visual energy before you see 100. There you go. There's no longer this. Yeah, perfect. I was right about that. Let people run Pharaoh. I was down for 9 1 2 1 2 stuff crazy to do fast. We probably have the same reason we need and just like building and then it's never left again. There please. Cool more against. Okay, we have 4 against. I mean, Orchards make back. I'm not quite sure why they left in the first place, but it's fine. Let's see one finish. Let's see one finish. I mean, let's do one decent refresh. That was really extra. Yeah, that's a little bit of one. I'm not sure where the Leecros stem from. Oh, I know where the Leecros stem from. It's stemming from the population. Okay, makes sense. As we have the Asian Maiden, only being 23 years older. You are eating out of the workforce. Makes sense. I hate that's definitely a but it's not going to be I'm really saying anything anyway. I need to just not feels. Feel like starting to for makes sense. Those are cool. Some has a great population. Alright, we're going to fix that. What happened here? Let's get this up. Yeah, I'm wondering maybe we need to build some high housing. We got to make this point. Alright, we're going to after every person that's but it's not deal. Some are 2s made organs. It's a little games. I want to do some harder work now. You only got to make things. I also need to make Snake to the how many times did we get? 3. Okay. That is enough dinners. If you got more. There's the windows. There's a little stairs out here, but yeah. Right, 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 I said not very slow. It's extremely slow. I'll just kind of get rid of this. Because we don't need much anymore, it's all done. You're touching that waiting go. Okay. We'll see that apple out here. Then more time goes on time. We'll take some time. How's it? This is the case, Andy. It's not out one of these stores. Another top here. There we go. There's no infinite. I gotta look at this. Alright, so none of these are fine. So still like, because they're only 4 by 4. 2, 3, 4. So one here, and one here, and one here. That's it. Oh, that's it. So here, keep on this way. And then one here, here, here. Yeah. So next first we need a surface, and a firehouse, process, and a water. So we're also using these guys. One this for now. And we'll start that's there. One. It's actually pottery. Actually, I actually well because yeah, it was 80 copies never mind your game. So we don't really sense anything about ours. That's okay. That's into that. Our position. And we need entertainment. And something in there. And design as well. Eventually. Okay, what am I now? Is that? That's the school, library, had a voice search. All that. I think it was 156. Close. There's always on our days we get fresh blood. That's not now. I need that money. Other people, valuable. I need fresh blood. Don't worry, it's not. It's moral. Not bad. There's that. This is people in the new. Excellent. I feel a little worried probably hope. I heard this need here. Is that really? Yes. That makes sense. It's not maybe supposed to. These arms actually probably. We'll see. Are you guys with this? Yes. Of course, everybody has this. So we're short of people. We're still getting people in. Yeah, I was going to use the world. I think that's the world, but I can always actually hilarious. Okay. So I'm multiple kinds of food. Okay. So that's what we need stuff over here for. Cheese and meat. Yes. And we're getting a scenery. Oops. There we go. I have my buttons on my iPad, and I always do that. Okay. And I want this to be in over here. I'll just do the other side. There we go. Alright, so we got the food. Now we're beautiful. We'll have many working people. That's excellent. Yes, right here. Get that cheese and alright, so that meat. I should probably turn it off. Yeah, the first rate flies. They're going to tell all these stars to not buy the premium food. That's what class. That's what people. It's not the vegans. Go. Here. Go. Here's here's third market somewhere. You don't get it. It's right here. Mark here. Side and side. It's not very fine. Is that you? This market is by most of the most of it. I guess I'm are any through here? Yes, I'm not bad. Hello, Terry. I'm 50 eat. It's so slow. Our Terry is so slow. Also, this Leecros. That's right. There we go. That's 9 Alright, so you have yes. Let's do this. Anyway, it's time to know that. Okay. Oh no. Same source is actually obviously brands. There we go. It's okay, it's okay. Okay. Let's hand that up. Nice. Is that really axle berry? That's axle berry. Yeah, no, that's fine. Alright, so now that it works, we need heavy. Yeah, it's heavy. It's more heavy. And also heavy. I'm not after all. Here's the that's fine. So I feel like there's a little bit here. Why are you here? I can't fill them out. I think they're all selling food, and there's a guy there. Alright, 88. Beautiful. They were just, or that's fine. I'm gonna do this now, so. 1, 2 bots. 1, 2 bots. What do you? Is that her? Are you now? Yes, it's her. Are you okay too? No. Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes. Okay. There we go. Palato Estate. Beautiful. I like building Palato Estates. They make me feel so good. Alright, let's start giving money to Pharaoh so we can get our kingdom rating up. Because apparently our kingdom rating is just gradually going down. And I'm not really sure why. It's fine. Next year we'll send another gift, and that should be the end of the mission. We did a good job. We did a good job. We could have done it a little bit faster if we weren't constantly in debt, because I spent the first half of the game, like, begging not to be hurt by the game. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think you can really blame me too much for that, considering the last mission that we played, we got completely destroyed by armies constantly and forever. So I think I can get a little bit of leeway for trying to take the peaceful way out. What is your problem? You just don't know if you want to upgrade or downgrade. That's fine. Alright, so we should be good now. We should be good. I think we should be able to send a gift and win. Yeah.
You successfully inspired your generals to great victories on the field.
I sure did.
Promises of life everlasting.
I still think I should have gotten a slightly bigger pyramid, but that's just my opinion. That took 590 months. That probably should not have taken 590 months. I know part of that problem was I was struggling with debt so much that it dragged my prosperity into the dirt, but it's fine. We got our fancy Plato estates, though, and I definitely do think that helped with prosperity. Because we were at, like, 50 or 60, and then we jumped up to 100 once we got the Plato estates. So, I think that was definitely a good idea once I had the money in my bank to actually pull that off. Alright, there we have it. Now on to the next mission. We have two choices here. Byblos and Baki. Nearly 50 years, that's about right for 3 pyramids? Yeah. But I don't think, like, definitely the pyramids took the longest time. They would have taken much less time if they didn't bug out, or if the one didn't bug out. And it also would have taken much less if we didn't have to burn through, well, probably about 10 years at the end of the game to get my prosperity up. I think I could have beat that in a much faster time, especially now with the blessings of hindsight. But it is what it is. That is by far the longest time I've spent on any of these missions. But now we have a choice to make.